Hey Google, can a man actually survive 100 years in pickle brine?
No, of course not. Why would you ask me such a stupid question? I am able to scour the internet to answer some of the most complex questions about the human race and beyond, and you want to know if a man can be preserved in pickle brine? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
So that's a no then?
It's been 100 years. The pickle brine preserved him perfectly.
Get too old to lose that.
The world has changed. Everyone I know is gone.
We were able to track down a great-grandson.
Greenbaum! This is nuts.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the 100th episode of Luke's Reviews. How the hell do we make it to 100 of these things? And on today's special 100th episode, I am reviewing An American Pickle, starring Seth Rogen, about a man who starts a pickle empire. What a way to celebrate 100. Seth Rogen is pulling double duty in this tale of the ups and downs of the American dream. He plays Herschel Greenbaum, a ditch digger from Eastern Europe in the early 1900s who travels with his wife to America to live out the American dream. However, after an accident at a pickle factory, Herschel is trapped inside a vat of pickle brine, preserving him for 100 years. He emerges in present day, connecting with his great-grandson, also played by Rogen, as they look to launch an empire of their own. It would be remiss without mentioning just how ridiculous this entire premise is, and for about the first 20-25 minutes or so, it actually embraces the ridiculousness of the premise in an almost quirky Wes Anderson-like approach. The opening sequence following Herschel in what I believe is pronounced Schlubsk, maybe, and then him traveling over to America is very wholesome and has a few good chuckles packed into it. And for a little while, whilst Herschel is adapting to living in this modern age, you get a good few entertaining fish out of water sequences. Seth Rogen does a really good job as Herschel. The accent gets a little wobbly at times, but he's really endearing as the character of Herschel. He hits the comedic beats as to be expected, and when the film calls upon it, he really hits a lot of those emotionally poignant beats too. But where An American Pickle starts to come undone is pretty much everything after those opening 20 minutes or so. The story just hasn't got the legs to keep on going. It's pretty much an SNL sketch that has been dragged out to 90 minutes. And at that point, the joke has worn incredibly thin. It just isn't funny anymore. There are occasional sporadic flourishes of something that they can do really, really well. Michael Giacchino turns in a really good score. As I said, Seth Rogen does a good job as Herschel. Less so as Ben. I thought he was a fairly flat, largely uninteresting character. It's also clear that the script is wanting to comment on a lot of societal issues, how we've progressed as a society over such a short space of time, but also how we've lost a lot of our humanity along the way. Deconstructing the American dream to show some of its downfalls, showing some of its upsides as well. The issue of immigration and accepting someone whose culture and beliefs may be different to yours. It's definitely swinging. And I can't fault it for that. In fact, I give it bonus points just for stepping up to the plate. But unfortunately, it really doesn't really hit many of the balls. And when it does, we're not looking at home runs here. An American Pickle starts strong with it embracing the quirky premise, and Seth Rogen does a good job, but it quickly unravels into a film that would have served much better as a sketch. Like I said, there are sporadic moments when it feels like it's catching on to something, but for the most part, it comes across like it's stuck treading water. Overall, I'm going to give An American Pickle a 5 out of 10. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on An American Pickle. Let me know what you thought of the film down in the comments below, as well as my question to you. What do you think is the most Wes Anderson film not directed by Wes Anderson? As I'm sure some of you are aware, we are currently on the road to 300 subscribers, so if you are watching this video, you have enjoyed it, but you are not yet subscribed, please click that subscribe button. It will mean the absolute world to me. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please make sure that you click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All the links to my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and my letterbox are all in the description below. And if you haven't liked the video, what are you still doing here?